Yep, I'm studying an aviation subject to airline and airport management. So pretty much in the name is how airports and airlines are managed. We'll look at business, financial, how airports are designed in a way. And one of my projects is trying to get a certain aircraft type to an airport. That's one of the sort of modules that I have to do for my course. So in my opinion, it's an interesting subject. I'm not sure to some of the viewers how um, think of it. Yeah.
Interesting. The one thing I noticed, you cut out a couple of times for like short periods of time. So either a you can get closer to the mic or if you can, or if you can speak a bit louder. Like either way. Yeah, we can have a
Yeah, of
stereo
course. Yeah,
feed.
sorry.
Yep, that was perfect.
Yeah.
So on my end, I've basically finished first year of music theory at my academy in Zagreb. I've started second year. Actually, just this was my second week, or this would have been the second week, but because one of the somebody in a class that attended got tested positive for COVID, I was sent into isolation, and I'm really looking forward to getting outside again. Like I tested negative and everything. I'm safe. Don't worry. But yeah, COVID's been a really big topic everywhere for the past half a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think with everything that happened, so we had kind of so our kind of COVID wave in March. I know a lot of Central Europe had Italy had their kind of they had their COVID wave early February. It was really trying to pick up the pace in a way the virus. We had ours around mid-March. So what happened with me was, so I went in, so I was trying to study for A level. So if you're a foreign viewer from not from the UK, A levels are basically the exams you have to do before you go to university. So you do three subjects. I've learned that as much as and you get tested. And then pretty much, um, so the government came out with a statement they're cancelling all the exams for, and they'll actually reschedule them for autumn choice for us really. But um, so when my exams got cancelled, I thought instantly I'll just set up um, I'll just start a YouTube channel and try and entertain people during a tough time because everyone was going into lockdown across the world. Um, Nothing was really happening. All entertainment kind of stopped in a way. Sport ground to a halt. Premier League, Champions League,
Yeah,
Europa League, everything.
I remember.
That was like,
I remember how happy I was when um, when they announced that the Prem would continue, because I'm a huge Liverpool fan, and that's also the year we finally won the Prem. But
yeah,
yeah,
Liverpool were
everything was
really good.
like I feel like everything was on a knife's edge, really. Like, will event A or B, will it be held, or will it be cancelled? Can it be rescheduled, or will it be too long? Like, this COVID situation is really unpredictable about those kinds of stuff. But like you mentioned with YouTube and everything, you sort of found a way. You found something to do while you were in quarantine, let's say.
Yeah, it was so. As I said, everything got cancelled. My level exams got. I thought, let's just do, just do something I did in the past and just do spin something on its head because I was doing quite a lot of um, before like COVID time. I was doing a lot of so with FBC, I was doing a lot of commentary work. So sometimes on a Saturday night, if I had time and I was kind of alone in the house, um, I'd just commentate for the FBC lot, and they said they really enjoyed it. So I thought, I could do commentary of old FPC games. So the first video we did was we had Manchester United and Samarino Calcio, the two of like two of the league teams, PC. And we had what we did was we just commentated the full game, stuck up on YouTube, and it ended up being quite successful. So I continued doing it, and yeah, now here we are, I guess. Yeah, long kind of 7-8 months.
Hmm. Also, the one thing you mentioned about those commentaries, I'm actually really surprised that no one ever took FBC to Twitch or anything, like to a streaming platform, because I feel like it would help the server grow, and you can easily get content out of it, like you said, by commentating games, even doing it live. Like I remember a couple of people doing like post game commentaries on video feeds sent by those by mods or whatever, or admins, and like they were decent videos, but you could see that they were scripted, kind of like they were just reading the script of what was happening. But
Yeah.
when I figured
Oh,
you when I found out that you were actually doing commentaries of FPC, I had an idea if maybe I could jump in as like a color caster or something, and if we could take it to Twitch, but never got around to asking, never got around to arranging it, and yeah, never happened actually.
yeah, one of the things about FBC, we never really had like we've had people kind of in the past couple of months. I think if you know Mason and Dus,
Mhm.
they've kind of gone to like streaming and stuff in a ways. They're trying to like build their audiences on Twitch. Um, I've kind of stuck with the YouTube side because Twitch for me is just I cannot like OBS on this PC is just it wouldn't work because it's just not very powerful. Um, so we never really got around to Twitch. One of the things we did want to do though, I think something that's happening in FBC is so I'm being sent clips pretty much. It's not like the full game, but the
Mhm.
FBC YouTube channel I've been asked, can you just commentate over these small clips, just act like they were real, and we're gonna kind of tessellate them in together. And I was thinking like, just upload the full game. Like if people are gonna, you know, want to come to FBC, they don't want to see like a 30-second game. They want to see like a full match.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's and as well for FBC in the channel, like you want. If I know some there's I think it was Where He was talking about monetization. I was saying to I was thinking to Emma, look, if you want monetization on this channel and we want to have some server and get it going, you're going to want to have a full game. It's not that um, it's not right to just do 30-second clips because that doesn't provide the watch hours. It gets really, really popular because we've progressed as a server. FBC has progressed so slowly over the past kind of 3 or 4 years with regards to players. We get probably about one or two new players a month actually stay and want to play the game. This is difficult really to kind of. I'll go on to it a bit, but um, I'd love to see FBC YouTube live, but
While
um,
we're talking about that, um, I'm getting some messages in Twitch chat from Dutch Bosnian, and I think I know who that is. First of all,
I'll,
yes, you are looking at the FBC top one Croatian goalkeeper, and he also says that he thinks that our duo for live commentary it could be good.
oh
You
yeah,
knew it,
Dutch
Sani.
Bosnian Sami.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you out here, Simon. But yeah, I think I'd love to do like a live conference you see sometime soon, but it's just like
Like if
at the minute I don't. to do FPC commentaries in a way. I just want to kind of just have a little break from that because I did so much of that over the past six
Yeah,
months.
it's easy to get like burnt up
Because I
or
want to
burned
have a look
out
at, I want to have,
rather.
yeah, I
But
want to have a look at some new projects as well
hmm
for WestieTV. So I'm scripting some stuff up at the minute. Yeah, it should be released that probably in November, December. Look out.
we definitely will be looking forward to it. Um, just to end off the topic of potentially um, commentating the games live, like I'm down for it if it's on Saturday evenings. Like um, I would say that I'm only available on Saturday evenings to do so. I think we need to only have commentary, but the problem is that you only really comment. Yeah. So Sani is saying that you're the only proper commentator right now, but I've had some practice, especially in like analytical side of games because um, as you might remember, the first podcast that I held with Chalk Fudge, I announced, and you can still see the banner right there below, that I joined Emirates Esports as their Rocket League coach and manager. I'm not coaching them anymore. I quit that because of IRL issues, and but I'm still hanging around, and I would say I got accustomed to like analyzing what's been doing, what's been done good, what's been done bad, what could go better, what could go, blah blah blah. So I think I would do I would be a good caster, I think. So if we can ever get that sorted out, just hit me up. I'm down for it.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love. I think we FBC definitely needs more commentators. There's not a lot of recorders in a way. We've
Yeah.
not had we've not had an actual recorded game I think since the Copa America tournament we had this summer. Because what happened was Euro 2020 got cancelled. It was April March. We realised
Mhm.
we couldn't host it at all, um, and we thought we'd just save Euro 20 for next summer. Have then have another tournament was going on at the same time, so Copa America, but Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Costa Rica, those kind of countries,
Mhm.
and it worked. It worked well. There were just a few kind of like things and incidents in there that that kind of brought back the kind of tournament itself. Um, yeah, someone just put a good comment in
Yeah.
there.
I'm reading through the
That
comments. Like it.
yeah, that
Um.
that's pretty much how I do it every time. So what I have is so for commentary, what I do is I have the downloaded clip from the match, and then I'll just replay it and commentate over it, and have the voice recorder, and then
Mhm.
just on the editing, I'll just match up um, two kind of clips, and that kind of works best. People still get the same kind of feeling that they're at a real match,
Mhm.
and um, yeah, I think what Sani's saying about the intro and introduction, we did with the one of the big series we did on WestieTV was the FBC Champions, and that was a lot of fun. I loved doing that series. We had an intro, we had
Yeah. It
um,
was it was animated as well, wasn't it? I think I
yeah,
watched those. Yeah. Like
we had
I'm not really as involved with Football Craft as I was previously, like I mentioned in the last podcast as well. But I still looked at those games you commentated just like for fun to see who's still playing, who's still active, who's doing what, and that kind of stuff. But um, really like Sunny's comment and think that if we could like gather a little production crew, then we could have like everything you would see properly in a match, like from the analyst desk to the commentary box, everything. Like we don't need to go all out on it because we're amateurs at that. Nobody, I seriously doubt anyone knows really how to do it. But just having that little bit of experience from streaming, I think I could manage that.
Yeah, definitely. That would sound really good.
I might even pitch the
Charlie
idea.
just had a comment.
Who is in charge of the tournaments on FBC?
So currently with the staff team, so I left the staff team on September 5th. It was a bit of a prickly one, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so pretty much what we've got now is so we've still got Owen at the top. We've got Daniel, Rob, Soft as the admin. Joe is the only moderator.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Emerg, Triple Blocks. I'm not sure you'll know him.
I don't think so.
And there's a guy called Dibala who
Mm-hmm.
does. They're all kind of like. I've got Bog and Dark Life 3, who's all on the kind of like. They're all kind of like in the helper kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
Emma kind of leads a lot of the tournaments these days. Last night he hosted a basketball tournament, and that was quite
Oh, cool.
successful. Um,
It's actually
so
weird because yesterday while I was streaming, it was in the evening, I decided to check on Footballcraft and almost no one was there. So I might have just missed it or something. I don't know.
it was 8 o'clock, so 9 o'clock your time. So I think it was just after that.
Yeah,
So
then I was a bit early. Whatever.
the thing though about the staff team is these days not a lot of change happens. A lot of people like from when I remember when we were hiring. Well, I was part of the hiring process for Emma.
Mhm.
When Emma got the job, he was in that kind of wave of people. And one of the things that stood out from every single application was how they'd change FPC. And the thing is, not much change happens. It's all been rather static.
Mhm.
Um, we've tried to get new players in. We've tried to get we over when COVID happened. We thought loads more people have been playing video games. Minecraft numbers are going to rise. So why don't we just try and get as many into FPC because there's no football at all. Um, and we said, are we going to we'll try and get some new players. We'll try and get recruitment. We did, but it wasn't as great as we thought we were going to. And I think it was because new players were coming, we're seeing how toxic of an atmosphere sometimes FBC can be, because it's changed a lot over the. So 6 years ago, nobody would hurt a fly, and now it's like
Mhm.
really kind of like everyone. If something goes wrong, everyone's kind of mouthing each other off, not having the chat, and that's not the great FPC that I remember really. Um, and that's been allowed to be created in this culture through so the server. So when I was in the staff team, just as like my last couple of weeks, I was with Warrow and we were talking. We were saying,
Mhm.
"Oh, this server's going to need rules to go forward," and no, we put it in the chat about 5 times over a week. We just got completely ignored, completely blank by the admin and Owen. That's not. I don't think it's Owen's fault really because he he's not around often. He helped pay for the server and owns it. There was no kind of like effort to implement rules and stuff.
Mhm.
If you get what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of still running free in a way. It's not the best atmosphere. Like it's just I'd love for FBC to like have rules and things. Yeah, as Sani said, Owen's not really there to be held accountable. It's not
Yeah.
as if like there's there were a lot of disagreements in the staff team and not a lot of everyone not there wasn't great cooperation. Um, yeah, it's just nuts how
Yeah. From what I'm hearing, what definitely lacks on Footballcraft right now is staff meetings. Like just scheduling a certain time and date when all the staff are gonna come around and talk about what's happening, because some of them are more active than the others, so they have a clearer picture of what's going on. And like
Yeah,
that kind of decision making really it really helps the both the community and the server grow. I remember while I was coaching the boys, we had like individual practices and everything. We had team practice. We had scheduled meetings where we would discuss everything, and in the end, it helped us grow a lot in those 7 or 8 months that I was there. So in the end, it just comes down to communication. If people are taking things seriously, they'll be vocal about it. If if they are there just to boast about their title, then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
yeah. One of the big things that SBC did, um, I think it was, so in my year and a half that I was staff. So I started in May 18. I had, and across my kind of like time that I was there, we literally had no staff meetings at all. It was just like you go on the staff chat, you put your issue, people discuss it, complain, argue, whatever. And every kind of like month or so, you'd have the odd argument where people there was, I won't name names, but there were a couple of staff in particular who just liked to argue on the staff chat. Well, that's all it. Um, so it's and one of the things like Sani, I do agree with your comment on like you have been like a load of people have been suggesting rules for years, but when we come to actually say it to like to Rob and Daniel and Soft and Owen, we get no reply anytime because they. I think what they think is we have the advanced stuff, so we've got all like the coding, we've got all the plugins, we've got
Mm-hmm.
the kind of console bits that nobody um, really sees behind the scenes. When we go into the basic stuff like rules, kind of keeping the chat in order, then it all just goes out the window. There's no kind of balance between each one.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said earlier, there's a culture been allowed where there's so much toxicity around the server. There's nothing that can really do about it because people are there dropping
No
really,
one
really
bats an eye on it.
vulnerable.
Basically, is what
Yeah,
you're trying to
and
say. Yeah, I
we
remember
had an
it was
incident.
one of the reasons why I didn't stick around for too long. Like I remember the OG players, they were chill, and then came a bunch of like a new generation of players, and I don't know, the toxicity just became normal because they would keep talking through sarcasm all the time.
Yeah, as Sani just said there, imagine the decrease in toxicity if we had staff members that applied the rules they could work by. There were, I'll go on 2 points. There was one of the main reasons I had for wanting server rules when I was in the staff team was we all we're going for random like so one of the things I had was that spamming was a 2 minute, repeated offense with 5, increased like 10, 2, 5, 10 an hour, and then we had one of the second most popular was the hard R mute. You know what I mean by that? So hard N word,
Mm-hmm.
really horrible to see it happen. But that was just straight flat 5 days. Then there were other things like toxic spamming. That was like one of the most flip flop kind of. There was no kind of like in between. Some were 5 minutes, some were 30, some were a day, some were an hour. There was no kind of like consistency with how we were muting, how we were punishing players. So, and then when on other instances, I went to mute someone, and then with the normal kind of 2 minute spamming, and then someone would go and overrule it, the staff team, and then would say don't mute. And I was like, well, that's my job to help a staff team to help moderate the chat. So
Yeah, that's the issue that happens usually when you have too many staff members for a too small community, I would say. Because I will say it now, Footballcraft is a small community compared to, like, I don't know, the Hypixels, or I don't know which servers are still running, but having
yeah,
like
I agree.
3 or 4 staff members is perfectly enough for a match day. For example, when it's a match day, I recall having between 20 and 30 players on at once. Am I right? Yeah. So,
Yeah, we get about these days for match days. We get about 40, 50. It's not too great in number, but it's enough to kind of like fill the 8 teams to play each night. So
mhm.
yeah, it's kind of random. Rob Rob was one of the people who said that we don't want to hire too many staff. We've got quite a lot of people on roll, and then there's activity issues from certain staff.
Mhm.
Joe's not that active. Owen comes days. Um, it's really kind of the most active in the world. Daniel, Soft, and Emma, three kind of guys. I see Owen, Joe, sometimes and Soft. They're around. They've got lives outside of FBC, and that's understandable. I had lives out of FBC as well. Um,
Absolutely. Same
but
reason why I left. I had stuff. I also had stuff behind or aside FBC.
yeah, but the stuff, the FBC. I'm not sure if you heard about it. I thought about making it today, but there was. Have you heard about? Remember Matt and Navy?
What about him?
So the really old owners of Evo Ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they've gone and they've gone and set up a new server in the past kind of few months, and they've just released last night. Um, and one of the things I said when we heard about it, to a massive discussion saying, "Oh no, they're going to be Evo Ball V2, and they might come and steal players, be a much better server than us." And that was one of the main fears. One of the key points that I saw from their service scored, but they had what they'd done with the server is they'd used the really old Arena Football plugin. They'd
Mhm.
edited it to make so it was in a way a little more accessible for players, so they could have some form of training before they went in and played the actual game itself. We don't have any of that on FPC, so um, I reckon they'll grow a community very very quickly. Um, whether I know it will be a success on the long term, I don't know. Very very be very interesting to see.
Yeah, there's never predicting how that will go, but if they're more like user friendly for new players and more accessible, it's a good start for them, really. But I remember back when Evo Ball was a thing, there we were still going on both servers regardless. And like it was pretty much the same community since the
Yeah,
gameplay was practically identical.
the thing about Evo Ball though was they had rules, they had, and in a way, I don't think FBC's developed into a much more kind of, as I said, a toxic kind of.
It
There
turned
could
into
be
a free
some players
real
say,
estate.
yeah, they could say they could think like some players could, oh yeah, well they've got kind of rules over here. Everyone seems a lot nicer. The grass looks greener.
Hmm.
I'll go and have and eat that grass. So it's one of those things. It's going to be interesting to see if they build a good audience.
Cool beans. Yep.
Oh,
we've gone on, we've gone on with this topic for quite a while now. Actually,
yeah,
we're
I think we
already
should actually go
we're
on.
already almost 40 minutes in, and we're still talking about Football Craft, which is again fine. We're not limited to like you have 3 minutes for this topic, 5 minutes for this, 15 for this. Like whatever comes to mind, you we can talk about it. But yeah,
All right.
it's interesting to see that um, that you're still, even though you have left the server for uni, that you're still invested enough that you want to see the server grow. And it's kind of the same
Yeah,
with
yeah, of
me.
course. I mean, FBC has been like a second home for me for years.
Absolutely, I can absolutely agree with
Yeah,
that.
I still see it as a kind of like a place that I can just go and say hello and meet people, play a game, enjoy.
Hmm.
And one of the things that sets everything apart from FBC is how long it's been going, how we've had, I think without fail, every night on a Saturday, we've just had a league, we've had some sort of event on for years, and that's been brilliant. Um, I think as well. Never mind. Sorry. Never mind.
I'll definitely pitch the idea of um, live commentary through Twitch to whoever, whenever. But I think we can move on to the next topic, which is also related a bit to the COVID situation, the F1 season so far. Um,
Yes, F1. It's been a lot of fun.
I was supposed to be. I had 3 tickets to the Austrian Grand Prix that I got around this time last year, and I was supposed to go there, but COVID
Yeah,
happened, and basically Austrian Grand Prix was the first one, I think, and it
yeah, they had
was
Austria.
it was held without any crowd, and I think Mugello was the first one to have some sort of crowd, and it was like what, a month ago, maybe not even a month.
Mugello was one of the interesting ones. Italy has like Italy was one of the because I think Mugello they had in Italy they did a really good thing. They organised. They got healthcare workers and professionals who are Formula One fans invited to the Grand Prix, and that's the great things I think. Formula One is how they're trying to connect out with the community in this kind of time of hardship
Hmm.
and doing as much as they can to accommodate people. I think that's really good, really. Yeah, but Mugello, the F1 season's been really good so far. Even though Mercedes are running away with it again,
Yeah,
um,
but
we've had
finally we have a fight for the rest of the pack.
yeah,
It's no longer Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and then everybody else. Now it's Mercedes and then everybody else. Okay,
yeah. I think
sure.
we've had
I would say that
we've
Red Bull is definitely the second best team right now. First of all, Verstappen is an amazing driver. Second of all, they're really fast. Like their car is really competent, and Max showed it a couple of times when he even won a Grand Prix this year. But
yeah.
go on,
I
go
think
on.
with the whole I think with the whole kind of situation with Max Verstappen, he's gonna think if Mercedes get a good car again next year and Red Bull are still where they are, I think Verstappen try and push for a move away. Um, because I think he's got some clause in his contract which says if he finishes outside the top, if Red Bull finishes outside three in the champ, then
Whoa.
oh, what happened?
Okay. What happened there? That was loud. You there?
Oh, hello.
Let me check. Something went wrong.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll
Your
do a
camera
double check.
turned off. You there? Interesting. We lost Westie. Right, so
All right, how's that? Is that we back?
still loading. Hold on, give it a minute.
Don't know what happened there. I'll check it.
Still loading.
Don't know what happened there. So
Me neither. But I'm not getting your video feed anymore for some reason. Like it's just loading.
can the stream still hear me? Okay. Or
Yeah, I think you're still on. Your audio is on stream still.
yeah, we can always continue going with this. I mean, I mean, I don't mind.
Sure. I mean, it will look a bit weird, but um, what can I say? I can quickly put a picture or something, like where your camera was supposed to be.
To put a,
Let me just
I'll
find
send
a
you a photo.
send me some picture, like
Uh,
literally anything that I'm gonna put up.
hang on,
Hmm.
idea. I'll send you this. This was something I did for the Man United career mode. We did for FDS.
Hmm.
I just put that on there. I don't know.
Okay, give me a second. Sorry, chat. These things happen, and there's nothing much we can do. While I'm doing that, what were we talking about? Aha. How about
Happened.
I count to three, and both of us at the same time say our opinion, which was the best F1 race this year.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
3, 2, 1, Monza.
Italy.
Yep.
Italy definitely Monza. I love that race.
Monza was like seeing those kinds of races with
Brilliant though. I think with the whole Magnussen retirement shut everything down. The whole race, it
yeah,
just threw
imagine if
everything.
that didn't happen. Like it would have been dull. R- really.
Yeah, then Leclerc losing it on the restart was that
Yeah,
was one of the big ones as well. I think Ferrari a was it a double retirement at Monza? One of the races that everyone thought this is not going to be good for
I don't even think that
Ferrari.
for some reason I don't think Vettel even started or something happened.
He had a brake failure, didn't
Yeah, he did.
he? He had some
He
sort
did.
of
He did. Okay, chat. Say hello to Manchester United's Westie. There we go. I could have like heavy edited the picture, but
heavily edited, just like
like splattered a bulge.
yeah. I don't know. It's
Five
like
head Westie.
my I'm so tall. I think my head's off half of it. Half my hair is just like gone like that. It's like hit the ceiling.
I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
put it
just seen it
down
on the
just
screen.
yeah.
If you join from Snapchat and you're one of my uni friends, this is what happens. This is how it is now. I had a face cam, but now we're gone. Um, but yeah, so F1. I think the whole thing around Vettel and Aston Martin is quite interesting.
Yeah, like I remember back at the beginning of the season when they announced that Vettel will be leaving Ferrari. I had a hunch that he would go to Racing Point. Then later, when it was confirmed, they still haven't announced who is leaving, and the big factor I think there is Lawrence Stroll, and that's the reason why Lance is staying, and Perez is going.
Yeah, Stroll being in the team, he's going to be there forever. Like, it doesn't matter. He will be there until he gets bored.
Yep,
And it's very clear that Perez was going to be if Vettel moved to Aston Martin, Perez was going to be thrown out. And I don't know where Perez is going to go. He's a great driver. He could go to any team. The Haas, he could
exactly.
go to
I heard
what?
something about Haas completely rebuilding their roster,
Yeah, I
but
think Haas will go. Haas have been all over the place, really. I think one of the things, I think one of the big links was Hulkenberg to Red Bull and Red Bull or Haas. I think Hulkenberg goes to Red Bull, Haas probably go to a two drop. I do not see Grosjean or Magnus staying in F1 next season
yeah,
or
same.
in the
Um,
regulations. They've been rubbish all year. They've not had any kind of
not only this year. Like if you watched, I don't know if you watched Drive to Survive on Netflix, but
yeah,
for the
yeah.
past two seasons, um, those two really aren't working well together. One with the
No,
other,
no, no, no.
and with the car itself. And recently, I read something that since Haas is basically like Ferrari's second team, that they would use Haas to, um, like they would replace Grosjean and Magnussen with two academy drivers for next year. Still not confirmed, just a gossip I heard.
Yeah, because I think everything right now suggests that I think Mick Schumacher,
Mhm.
so Michael's son, I think he might end up alongside Raikkonen, and then Giovinazzi will go into a Ferrari development driver kind of thing.
Mhm.
So he'll get the Esteban or Stoffel and Gutierrez or Van Dorn treatment. Um, I think everything suggests that Mick Schumacher would be a very, very good choice. I think
Yep.
people would probably, um, he probably would probably really well support him because of Michael and success. But the thing about it is, he cannot expect much. His first F1 season, he'll be in probably one of the bottom three cars on the grid next.
Mhm.
So there's not much we can really expect from him unless he has a meteoric rise. Um, but I think Ferrari, every kind of F1 team, the top three F teams have their golden boys. They've got Mercedes, you've got Hamilton, Ferrari, you've got Leclerc, um, and then you've got Red Bull, Verstappen, and whoever's in that second driver's seat is going to be feeling a lot under pressure. These young kids coming through that they've brought up through their ranks.
Mhm.
And I think Mick Schumacher will probably end up being at Ferrari and replace Carlos Sainz at some point. So Sainz has made a very risky decision for Ferrari as well.
Yep.
Probably
But
going to.
also that leaves two teams with big question marks. First, what was your take on McLaren this year? Because I feel like McLaren right now is in the battle for the third best team on the grid, like overall.
Yeah, McLaren will finish third in the championship. There's no question about it. But and they are definitely one of the top three teams at the minute, even though their qualifying hasn't been too great.
Yeah, they
Um,
have issues in qualifying, but their race pace is really good, and it showed multiple times. Um,
yeah, one of
in
the big things that
Austria, in Monza, like they've shown that they can be competent in actual races. And now that Ricardo is moving there as well to replace Sainz, um, I'm not really sure who are they gonna look at as the main driver because
I reckon.
both. Ricardo and Lando are really good drivers, capable of being the number one.
I reckon they'll probably go for Ricardo, or they'll treat them equal. It's very, very difficult to tell because Ricardo will. They might do what they did in 2010 with Lewis Hamilton and Button. So you prioritize Hamilton because he's been there at the team longer, or you have Button as your second driver,
Hmm.
and but I think Ricardo will probably take the helmet. I think Norris as the second driver would be good. I think as he's learning off Ricardo and then looking a lot around on the internet and stuff. So I think there's good signs for McLaren and
Hmm.
probably not so good signs for Ferrari. But yeah, I'm very interested. Renault as well,
Yeah, I was
with
about to
Alonso coming
mention
back.
Renault. With Alonso coming back, surely he's gonna be the number one driver in Renault.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
no,
very clear. They're gonna.
no
I
point
think
in questioning that at
Alonso,
all.
the whole Alonso thing's random because I think you question why did he leave in the first place if he still wants to come back. It's like I know he wants to try IndyCar and he didn't win the Indy 500, but if he wants to go and do like the Indy 500, just go and do it full time. Don't come back to F1 and do goals. Um, just a bit. He's got one leg of the Triple Crown to go. If he wants to get experience in an Indy car, stay in IndyCar and do a full season. Yeah, the money might not be great, but if you want to be one of the best all-round racing drivers of all time, go and do Indy, do a full season, see what you can do.
Yeah, it was weird, and I'm not really. I don't see him as somebody who could compete with the likes of Mercedes next year, even though Renault is on a rise right now, and they're looking better and better from race to race. I still don't think Alonso will be able to take wins because remember what happened when Kubica uh, got back for 1 year.
Yeah, the thing is
He
though with
did
Kubica, he was
absolutely
in the
nothing.
worst car on the
That is
he,
true, but
he was in the worst car on the grid, and he was
he was
coming back from
still
an accident.
um he was still outperformed 100% by a rookie.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I think Kubica was on one of the most mentally and physically straining F1 cars in the world, and he's had to rebuild his entire right hand and kind of like get used to using it after his accident in 2011. But it just kind of, I think Kubica was unfortunate. He, all credit to him for getting back in the car and getting back in.
Hmm.
It's just, it just wasn't right. I don't for Williams, and that was one of the big things that um, that didn't go well for their season. Williams, of course, coming back a bit now. They're clawing back with Russell's qualifying. It's not really been good enough.
Hmm. So at the end of the day, do you believe anybody could contest Mercedes for next year before the new rules come into place?
No, I think Hamilton will dominate once again, or maybe
Also,
Bottas.
one thing I just remembered now that you mentioned Hamilton, his, as far as I know, his contract hasn't been renewed yet. Could we
I've one of the oh
could we possibly think about him being sure that he will win this year, match Schumacher's record, and then bail out?
it could very much be the case because he's now got the win record. He's probably going to win a few more, but everything with the rules and regulations suggests that um, he could stay for another season, and then when the regulation changes, he bails out and after his eighth champion.
Hmm.
So it's very going to be very interesting to see what happens because he could go off and live his celebrity lifestyle a bit more. So,
That is true. Or he could take the Alonso route,
yeah,
do
he
Le
could
Mans,
take the
20
Alonso route.
hours, 24 hours of Le Mans and IndyCar. Who knows? I mean, at this point, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Like, um, he's got the contacts. He has the clout. He has the money. He's got everything he needs.
Yeah, I think with Hamilton, he's still got years left. If he if he chooses to end it early, then he'll be remembered as a legend. But the thing is, he's still got Mercedes will always still be around.
Hmm.
So, give it a go.
Yeah, so that's the situation in F1, I guess.
Oh, sorry, you cut out a bit there.
I said, I guess this is all there is to in the current F1 season. Or do you have anything else you want to talk about on
Not
the topic
not
of
really.
F1?
Not really on the top of F1. I think we've covered most bases really.
I have one thing to talk about F1 still, and it's when are we gonna finally play again? Like, I've been driving.
Right. Um, I've not brought my racing wheel with me to university. One of the things that I did want to bring was the the racing wheel. I thought because of force feedback and things, it's gonna annoy a lot of people here. So
Hmm.
probably not best I bring it and I just keep it at home. So probably Christmas. Um,
Could we do
yeah,
a
I've got
full season in like 2 or 3 days on during the Christmas break? Like,
yeah, that sounds good.
stream it,
I
because
think I'd
we
only go back
actually
until
we never completed our co-op season that we started, and
it's true we
I
didn't.
never ever posted anything about it, so it's basically like it never happened because I didn't have really time to edit it properly. Because now I have video editing software and everything, so I can edit videos properly. I just need the time, and I feel like doing something like that during Christmas break could be refreshing, if nothing else. So if you agree, we can do a co-op season then, also on stream.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. I'd love to do that. I think I've got a longer Christmas break than I usually would, so I'll be around for a while. I think.
For sure.
Do you want to? So once I've got my Christmas holiday date, they've not do is um, so Big Boris over here in Parliament to wants to lock students up 2 weeks and get them to quarantine before they all move around the country.
Mhm.
There's less COVID. So yeah, I think it could very well be a long Christmas break. Yeah, who knows? So definitely some F1 on the cards.
Mhm.
But yeah, did you what topic was next on F1?
I put down what's hot in the football world, but to be honest, I haven't really watched any football ever since Liverpool lifted the Prem.
Well, there's not much really going on in football,
The
really.
one thing I do know is that in the knockout phase of the Champions League, Dinamo Zagreb uh, we got a Hungarian team, I don't remember
Was that
which.
Ferencvaros?
Yeah, Ferencvaros. Yeah. And I remember people saying like it's free, and then usually it happens every time. I'm telling you, whenever we go up against a Hungarian team, we are gonna lose. Like it's not even funny.
Yeah, I've one of the big things I tried to follow the qualifying stage of this. And I watched. I wanted Mulder to go through.
Mhm.
Um, so we had a chance of Man United facing them in the group stage, and so it was like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reunion.
Mhm.
So I think with the whole situation in regards to the Champions League this season, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. United, I think we play PSG on Tuesday, um, which should be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of. I think PSG have a lot of players injured, so it'll be a test for United. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think there'll be some fun this week with the Champions League. We play Newcastle tonight. But yeah, I think this year the Champions League looks really, really good. Um, I've been looking forward to it for months. I'm not sure about you, but
I haven't still checked. Um, I didn't watch the group draw, so I have no idea who is where. But
I think in the terms of Liverpool, Liverpool got Ajax, which Liverpool got a good group. I think. Check.
I
Um,
mean, I can check as well. Champions League.
so Liverpool got Atalanta, Ajax, and Midtjylland. So Midtjylland we actually played. We played a few years ago in the Europa League, and that was kind of like Marcus Rashford's debut of match.
Mhm.
That was a lot of fun doing that, watching that match. I remember watching it. Sport. Oh God, I remember that. I actually do remember watching it. A lot of fun. Yeah, United were. Um, they were. Yeah, I think Liverpool will definitely top that group. I'd be surprised if Ajax were to trump them or Atalanta as well. Um,
It's a stacked
but
group,
I think the
but
midfield.
you were saying?
Um, sorry, I think you cut out. I'm not sure. Cut out.
No, I said you were saying. So,
So yeah, I think Man United they had. We've got PSG, Leipzig, and Istanbul Başakşehir. So that for us it's a tough group because we're probably going to be in competition with like Leipzig,
mhm.
and PSG we top it. So um, it's probably going to be important to get results. See what happens really.
Yeah. I mean, since COVID is still around, there's not much happening in the football world, right? Like the leagues are slowly starting to take place again, but without audiences and everything.
Yeah, have you had any? But just to have had in Croatia any kind of fans back in stadium?
Can you repeat that? A part of the question cut out, so I couldn't hear.
If you had like in Croatia any kind of fans in stadiums watching games? Because we've not had anything at all in the UK. We've been told we're not allowed fans until March.
I think. Hold on. Croatia played like a couple of days ago. We
You
played.
played France.
No, it wasn't France. It was. I can't remember who we played. Um, Let me think. Against Sweden, and there were a couple of fans, I think. but they were spread out across the stands, I think.
Ah, okay. We've been told for our kind of domestic leagues, the government to us, we're not allowed stadiums at all. So clubs aren't allowed to sell tickets, which
Sani says that he's pretty positive we played France. I'm 100% positive that we played Sweden, but I'm not sure about France. Maybe I missed it.
yeah, I think you played France and France won 2 or 3-0. Check. So you played Sweden on the 11th, and then you played France on Wednesday.
And it was
2-1 to France.
2-1 to France. Yeah,
But you beat Sweden to
yeah, we did.
beat.
I can't remember the score exactly. It was 2-1.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Sweden game, but I didn't watch the France game. I have no idea why. I just completely forgot about it. But whatever. I guess I'm
The
not
France
surprised.
game, the France game, I had a watch highlight. Brilliant in France.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about the fact that we lost because France is definitely way better and we're not looking as good as we looked in the World Cup 2 years ago. But what can you do
Yeah,
about that?
we're all still mad about that. We're all still mad about the semi-final.
Really? Like
Yeah, we all keep thinking, what if?
I genuinely believe that our game was the best against England. Like we were sure we got dumpstered by France in the finals, but I still to this day claim that our game against Denmark was the worst game of our tournament. But that's
Yeah,
Croatia for
maybe.
you. The second we get into knockout phase, everyone shits their pants basically. But once we got
Yeah, in
that
England.
win, it kind of elevated us.
Yeah, in England, it's if we shit ourselves when we get to penalties because
Yeah,
we've only won one penalty shootout or something at tournament.
I heard something about that from a friend of mine.
Yeah, I think the first time we won a penalty shootout in like 20 years was at the World Cup in Colombia, and
Hmm.
then we went and did the Nations League one and we won that one too. Um, we were like, oh, okay, we're on a bit of a penalty streak now. This is good.
I honestly can't wait for Euro to come around next
Yeah,
year.
I'm looking forward to the Euros. Yeah, I think the Euros are going to be really really interesting. One of the I think we've got the final at Wembley, so
Hmm.
everyone's going to be like, yeah,
And
fun.
we've got also
Um,
Croatia and England in the
and
same
then
group, playing at Wembley.
we will get our revenge this time. Yeah, I think
Probably you will, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really have no idea in what state, like, objectively Croatia are right now. But I know for sure that England is still really close to the top at the moment.
yeah, we're all right. We've just been playing three right backs in matches that just not worked out for us. I think we lost to Denmark the other week, and everyone was asking questions like, "We're not really ready for Euro 2020, are we?"
Hmm.
Um, the Southgate's tactics have just gone downhill since the World Cup. So yeah, it's been great at all for England at times, but um, yeah, hopefully though.
Right. So now we have passed an hour and 11. It's gonna be 11 minutes right now. Um, I didn't put down any other topics, but just for like a last topic, have you been playing any new games recently?
Not really. I've not. I've kind of had because I've had to. So what I've done is so I had to get a new laptop for university because my desktop at home, I'm not able to bring that into lectures and stuff.
Mhm.
So one of the things that I've done is I've just kind of got 4 games on my laptop, and that's pretty much it. So I've just got I'll read off to you. I've got Football Manager
Mhm.
2020, Microsoft Flight Simulator X. I've not got the new one. I'd love to. It looks really really good.
Mhm.
But then I've got Minecraft and F1 Um, 2014 is not great, but
Yeah, I
I'm not as good as.
remember seeing 2014 as one of the worst. But
Yeah,
I
I
think
just wanted some hybrid engine noise.
mhm. That's fair.
It's not a it's not a vast amount. Keeps me busy when I'm not doing anything in the place.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's, that's my games. How about you?
Um, lately I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm, even on stream. Like yesterday, I streamed it. I started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 because it was free. What else? I'm still playing a bit of Rocket League. Fall Guys has been really fun. Um, Among Us also. So those kind of like party type games, and but there's one uh, Croatian made game that I played with my friend from high school. I got him that game for his birthday. It's called Gas Guzzlers Extreme. It's basically a racing game, but you have guns and you can like kill each other. And it's a really
That
fun
sounds
and
pretty good.
yeah, it's a really fun and hectic concept. And like you sit in a lobby, you have like 10 racers or whatever, and you'll go out after maybe an hour and a half feeling like I don't know, still excited about the game. At least that's how I feel. Maybe I'm just biased because it's a Croatian made game, but it's a well damn made game. So I definitely recommend checking it out.
I'll have a look at it. Send me a link to the game, and I'll have a look at.
Yeah, also one thing that I noticed, it's kind of pricey on Steam. I think it's 22.99 euros, but I bought it for my friend at a retail store here in Croatia for like 50 kunas, which is around 7 euros maybe.
It's about
But yeah, I
it's
can
about six
send you.
pounds. Not too sure.
Have a look at this. Hold on.
Right.
There's a link to it.
Jesus, 140 in the UK. One what? That's insane.
Yep, and it's a really fun game. Like also to everyone in the chat, I would really like to stream that game, but the servers are kind of dead because no one's playing the game. Um, if you're willing to buy the game, we can do like custom lobbies because there are no like online lobbies. You have to host them yourself, and they work really really
Uh,
well, and it's a fun experience. So I recommend trying it.
yeah, I'll have a look into it.
Absolutely.
I'm still stunned at that.
But yeah, I think
Right.
that's all the topics we had. I think. Got anything to add?
Yeah. Um, I've not thought of anything through the stream. Gone through everything.
You cut out a bit.
Oh, I think we've gone through everything. I've had a double check through the um through the list. I think we're all covered.
Yep. Got any closing statements maybe?
If I had my camera on, if the camera was on still, I would hold up a sign saying TV. But um, but no, I don't think it's on.
Um,
Thank you very much for having me. Absolute pleasure.
Thank
I've
you
loved
for
it.
joining. If you want to, you can link your um, you
Of
can shout yourself out, your YouTube, your Twitter, whatever.
um, well, I'll put my link. No, oh, I just chat rules. I'm gonna break your chat rule. Okay, I broke
I
it.
was gonna post it as well, and
But that's my YouTube channel in the chat there. If you want to go and check it out, just search WestieTV. And it's a little black red um, little profile photo on YouTube. 84 subscribers. I'd love to get 100 by the end of the year. It'd be really awesome. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll. That's pretty much it from me. But thank you all very much. Great to be on. Thank you, Panda. Lovely to be back on a podcast. Um, and yeah, thank you all very much. It's been lovely.
yeah. Also, if you're new to the stream, go check out my socials below. I've updated them. I also opened up a new Discord server, which is gonna be specifically only for this community. So I'm feeling kind of excited about that as well, as we are slowly growing. But yeah, thank you